healthcare in our region. Such a critical need to train more nurses and allied health professionals, and LSUA is so excited about addressing this critical workforce need that we have. We've been talking about it for a couple of years, and today is the day to break ground. We have a contractor, we had some excellent architects, and I'm going to mention a couple of them in a few minutes. But I do want to give all glory to God for this day. So let's give God all the glory. And I do want to give recognition to the 250th anniversary of our country, which is this weekend, 250 years. And we really are very blessed to be in a country where we can meet freely and achieve our dreams like today with this health education campus for LSUA. So we really love our country. The building was designed by Mike Nichols and Jim Weinzettel of Ash Broussard Weinzettel Architects. I think they're here. Let's give them a big hand. They also had support from Shane Higdon of Tipton Associates. I think there are people here that Shane may be here from Tipton. We're very excited about having Lance Maxwell from the governor's office. He's going to speak in a few minutes. And H.R. Cahill is also here from the governor's office. I was telling Lance a few minutes ago, I've been around Louisiana for a while, and I've worked in the legislature and tried to help this state in a lot of different ways where you need legislative support. Without the support of the legislature and the governor's office, and the president of the university system, and our board of supervisors, they all have to be aligned and support a budget like this. This is a $43 million project. By far the largest capital project that we've ever undertaken at LSUA. And it's for a great cause for health care for our region. When I started hearing that we were closing wings of hospitals and floors of hospitals for the lack of nurses and staff, it really hit me hard. And when I thought of how can we solve this problem, it's a problem that universities have to solve that have nursing schools like LSUA. And the problem was here, so we have to be part of the solution. And we made that argument and really pushed that cause, and the legislature responded. And I want to thank them for seeing. Now, they told us we had to get some matching money, and we don't, have as many legislators in New Orleans and Baton Rouge and some of these metropolitan areas. So we came to the table with $8 million for this project. And as far as the state appropriation, that's about 25%, and that's what they told us we needed to do. And I know later the mayor is going to speak, but he spoke up real quick and said the city wants to help with $3 million, and that was the impetus for much of the support we got from the rest of the business community and the hospitals, Christus Cabrini and Rapides Regional, and Fleetco, Royal, Martin, many people came forward and said, we got to do this, and we're going to do it together. And I want to thank our legislature again, because, they know I love them to death. And at one time, Senator Jay Leno called it the Corral Cartel. And I said, well, I'm going to take that as a compliment. He said, okay, you can. I know that the squeaky wheel gets the grease, so we made the wheel squeak pretty hard. And Alexandria is such a great place to live. Central Louisiana is such a great place to raise a family and to find a career. So I think I mentioned several people. The Community Foundation also helped us. Rapides Foundation, as you know, owns part of this building with Rapides Hospital, and they donated that building. That's going to be part of the complex of the health campus. That's why we've been having our dental hygienist program here, which our dental school in New Orleans brought to Alexandria in partnership with LSUA. I want to also thank LSU system staff, Danny Mahaffey, Roger Husser used to be with the LSU Ag Center, now he's in the governor's office with FPNC. Roger's been a major ally for us, and I appreciate it. Chris Sherry with the Board of Regents. The Board of Regents also had to support this project with our LSU board. And President Wade Roos has been a big supporter as well, and I really appreciate his friendship. So let's give them all a big hand. And we had some federal support too. We have $3 billion of this project was provided by the congressional delegation. And I want to thank our congressional delegation. I think Ms. Malvo is here from Cleo Field office. They were very supportive, and we thank them. The supervisors are here. Last week, they passed a resolution that really touched my heart. I have a 43-year career with LSU. Can you imagine? I'm getting old. But I can tell you, it's been a labor of love. I've loved every minute of it. I was with the Ag Center 34 years and then with LSUA 8 years. And Valencia Jones, Rebecca Bonio, and SB Moran, thank y'all for coming in this heat. This board is a fantastic board, and they partner with us and support us. And they allow us to take some risks and do some things that are not easy to do. But I tell people all the time, if it's hard to do, it's going to be worthwhile. So I tell them when it gets hard and you get tired, celebrate because it means it's going to be something very worthwhile. This project was very hard, but thank God we're here today. I want to make sure I don't miss anyone. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and introduce our next speaker, and it is Lance Maxwell. Lance is a homegrown governor's office deputy chief of staff, and he's really helped us in many, many ways connect to the governor's office and get our story told. And we had a good conversation a few minutes ago, how well we respect the work that he does for Central Louisiana. So let's give Lance a round of applause.
Thank you, Chancellor, for the kind words for me and for the governor. He would be here himself. Thank you for allowing me to come brief you on his behalf. He would be here himself. He's in D.C. right now. Matter of fact, about 30 minutes ago, he was interviewed on Fox on the Mall, bragging about our country, bragging about Louisiana and the accomplishments that are taking place every single day. Being from Alexandria, growing up, I always push Cenla and Alexandria issues to the governor when I'm around him. I love always saying, I told you so. So anytime we have something like this happening, I'm like, I told you so. We have big things happening and big things are going to keep happening. And this is exactly what he's on Fox News talking about, is the progress around the state. When we first came into office 2 years ago, Louisiana was really almost in a death spiral. We have the best food, we have the best people. If you travel across America, our food is on every menu. People want to come here for Mardi Gras. So why can't we have our success between our own state lines? So we went to work, and the Platinum Project Award of the Year, which is the #1 project in the nation, was given to Louisiana for the first time ever in our first year home. And that was the that was the Meta Project. The following year, we received the Platinum Project of the Award of the Year again for the Hyundai plant. No state had ever won it twice back to back. So we went 2 for 2. Matter of fact, the president wanted the governor to come to the Oval Office to announce that one. We have, y'all may have been reading the papers or hearing about a possibility of another great company that is coming to the state of Louisiana that I don't want to say yet. I never take my boss's limelight. But that project, I can tell you, is bigger than the first 2 combined. And the president's already told Governor Landry that he wants him to come to the White House for that announcement. So there's a very real possibility the state of Louisiana, the state you live in, you never thought you'd hear these words, are going to win the Platinum Project of the Year. We never won it once, but win it not twice, not 2 times, but 3 times in a row potentially. And that is unbelievable. And so we're very proud of the direction of the state. We're very proud of how we're moving things. But this project like this right here, this addresses something that does keep the governor at night. you can have all the companies moving into the state, but if you don't have the workforce to properly handle the growth, then what are we doing? So this is one of the key pieces of the puzzle for us. Healthcare is an industry that needs workers. We have an aging population. This is something that is a no-brainer. And I'm very proud when I go to the governor and say this is happening here, because nothing like this happens. And the chancellor already said this, but nothing like this happens unless you really had everyone grabbing the rope and pulling in the same direction together. And that can happen. And this today is an example of how it happens. So I appreciate y'all. That's all I'm going to say, because I know it's hot and everybody wants to get in air conditioning. But on behalf of Governor Landry, thank y'all for inviting us, allow us to participate in what we think is a tremendous, tremendous jewel here in downtown Alexandria. Thank y'all very much.
I'd like to say a little bit about Wade Bruce. I was on the search committee when he applied for the president's job. At that time, it was President Chancellor, and he came in his interview and made it very clear that he thought that we needed a full-time president, a full developed system, LSU system, and then I'll hire a chancellor that'll really run a major flagship campus in Baton Rouge where research is a really core value. And this man did it in the last 6 months. And he's a joy to work with. I really wish I could work with him longer, but I'm okay with that. Our president, Wade Bruce.
Thank you so much. You know, Paul finally figured it out. If he wants me to keep my remarks at 3 minutes, put us in the sun and go first. So he takes all the good things I have to say. So first of all, what a wonderful day. But it's always a good day. It's always a good day and we're learning very quickly that anything's possible in Alexandria. When you look around this crowd and you start to see all of the different stakeholders that are taking part in what a remarkable venture that we're doing together. We see the philanthropic community. We see our board of supervisors are here. We've got our elected officials here. We got our faculty staff here. We got all the community members that make up a wonderful community. We're here to celebrate. Sorry about that. That's me. Whatever channel that is, I apologize. So to celebrate a wonderful thing, and you've heard me go around the state, you're going to continue to hear me say that we're going to change the way we educate Louisiana. We're going to do that by making everyone understand that the only thing that binds Alexandria, Eunice, Baton Rouge, Shreveport, New Orleans, all 64 parishes through our extensions office, 3 letters, 2 colors, 1 state, we're all LSU. We're one LSU, we're all LSU, and we're going to change the way we educate Louisiana. And the reason that's so important is exactly the point that we made about all the capital pouring into the state. We've got an unbelievable amount of capital pouring into the state. Well, there's 2 things that drive economic growth. That's labor and capital. So if we see all of this capital coming in, Governor, the Susan Bourgeois, LED, those folks are doing an amazing job to attract capital. Then we have to have the labor meet that capital where it is so we can have sustainable economic growth and change the living standards of all Louisianians. So the pressure is on us. The pressure is on education to live up to our end of the deal. But when you see projects like this, and you hear me talk about excellence and accessibility, you hear me say how we're going to measure excellence. On the main campus, we're going to measure excellence by being a top 50 research institution. On our regional campuses, which this is the model, which has created the entire strategy that we're putting out there, is that we're going to have dynamic market-driven curriculum. That ultimately you measure that with placement rates and starting salaries. Well, if you think about placement rates and starting salary, where's the demand? It's in healthcare. And when you think about what this leadership team has done at this amazing university with the entire faculty and staff saying, okay, we're going to double down. We're going to go get community support. FBNC's here. We got our elected officials are here. We have the governor's office here. You have all the philanthropic community that does so much for this community here to say, you know what? This is exactly what higher education should look like. So I could not commend this group more. I cannot commend this faculty and staff more, the leadership, elected officials, our board of supervisors. Thank you for all you do. But I'm going to sum up with, I don't know if I'm supposed to introduce him, but I'm going to introduce him, and then Paul can take up the next step. You heard a little bit about this, but the first person to jump out on the limb to get this done, and if all of you that understand philanthropic fundraising and really to get a mission, you have to have that first partner step up and say, we're going to do this. In this case, it was your city. It was your mayor. I understand it was a $3 million hamburger. I love the idea that the chancellor said we're going to, this is a $3 million hamburger. But as soon as the city stepped out and said we're going to do this partnership together, because it's the right thing to do to make sure we educate Louisiana differently to meet that labor where it is. I'm going to bring up the guy that was behind all of that. Your mayor, our mayor, my friend, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. That was very generous. It was a cheeseburger. Look at me and tell there had to be some American cheese. So listen, I love numbers, and I want y'all to think about this. 43 for 43. 43 years this man, Dr. Carell, served for LSU. And he just promised $43 million project. A million a year is pretty good. It's been an extraordinary partnership and opportunity for leaders. Dr. Carell and his team have created an extraordinary partnership and opportunity for other leaders by following examples for growth, for education, for medicine and health. This ride with the person, the team, and it's certainly his team, but I want you guys to remember that this LSUA team deserves recognition by their own lights. Connie, Abby, Liz, all of these folks by their own lights deserve recognition. And now a physical representation of growth and a symbol like the tower at the campus recently completed in that same downtown linkage being created. It's almost like two lighthouses that are guiding this community across this area to a better place. And this team's been a pleasure to work with. That kind of progress doesn't happen easy or by accident. It's the work of extraordinary university chancellor, to be sure. And we've been feting Paul for some time. But again, I want to stress that team that he put together and all of these other folks who have come together, Jay, all the other people. I guess you call it the cartel, but it's a lot to move that amount of money through that capital. They'll set up an obstacle. Central Louisiana won't bring their match. And then when the match is brought, oh, buddy, they brought the match. Now what's the obstacle? That had to be moved through. So it's not just the campus that you see down there and what he's doing, but this is going to be part of a larger manifestation, an indicator, a bellwether for Alexandria. This team was willing to match that vision with discipline, aspiration, and execution. And that's really what they've done. They leave everything. When he goes, his team will pick up with the guy that's leading us all with a clearer purpose and in a better place. All the confidence that you've exhibited, it does lead to buildings being opened and programs strengthened and students served and faculty supported and now patients treated and partnerships deepened. But really it leads to a community that gets lifted. Your tenacity, your vision, all of the things that you have that create those rare traits, your smarts, they just made for a better place. And I know that there are shoes to fill to follow you, but I know you've created a team that can do it. It's one thing to imagine a future, a better one. It's another thing to see the visible manifestation of that imagination. Here's to the contributors, Jay, Chamber, Ed, all of you who've helped make this happen. To the City Council at Alexandria for having the vision to see why you would invest $3 million. That's a lot. And we appreciate you. Madam President, thank you so much. Give them a hand. Gary, Kim, Lizzie, thank you all very, very much. So, 43 for 43. I appreciate you so much. And on behalf of the city, I get the honor of signing the big check. Jay, this in a case check. It looks like a big check we might get for that, but this is different. Cynthia, to the council, thank you all so much. I think I just did President Brown's here. Thank you all so much. We appreciate it. And on our behalf, I'll sign it.
All right.
I'm
I've never even seen a $3 million check, much less hell of one. And this one, this big, I wonder if it's worth more than 3 million because it's so big. And I want to thank the mayor. I'll never forget that cheeseburger and that discussion. It's a true story. And he was in my office with Melinda and we were talking. And then he said, he stopped in his tracks when we were talking. He said, look, I'm committing $3 million. I'm going to go to the council, try to get them to support. But we want this to happen. And here we are with a check. This man came through and I really want to thank him. And I've used his name. And I know Kelly and the foundation, which I failed to mention, Michael Close here, our chair of our foundation. They led this capital campaign. We raised $8 million through our foundation. I always say too long, but in less than 6 months. Now, Dan Nuno and his England Airpark partners, they were guiding us all along the way for the $32 million that the legislature appropriated and the governor supported. And I want to give Taylor Barra credit. I mentioned Roger Husser, but Darren and I met with Taylor 2 or 3 times, and every time we met, he said, we're going to make it happen. This has to happen. We need to do it. Never hesitated. And I always said, I'm going to tell the governor this is something we need to do. And he did it, and with the governor's support. But I do want to give a special thanks to our senior leadership, Darren, Jeff. You're going to have a chancellor and Liz, who is a part of the senior leadership, till midnight tonight. And Abby Bain, who is on vacation, but she's been a major part. And those folks have kept things moving in that campus, and thank God they're all still there. And they're going to continue to do a fantastic job. The talent of that university, I can tell you, it was not being fully utilized. They're running at high speed now. And I've said this before, and I know Liz will speak later. The best days for LSUA are ahead, I can tell you. But they need your support. This is your university. It doesn't belong to me or to the senior leadership. It belongs to the people. So you have to nurture it and support it and guide it and urge and push. And with the legislative delegation doing the same thing for you, the sky's the limit. We need some more facilities. We've talked to Jay about the next classroom office building. I mean, hey, we need it. Now, we put up $2 million for the next big project of our own funding to do the planning and design. But now we got to get some capital outlay money. And I'm going to be selling as long as until midnight tonight, I promise. All right, we're going to move on. It's getting hot.
Chancellor, before you move on, I'm going to be in bad trouble if I didn't do this. Behind every great leader stands a source of encouragement and support. And Mrs. Arlene Carell has faithfully provided inspiration, guidance, friendship, unwavering support for Dr. Carell's remarkable career. It's a much long one, but just to make sure we're clear. Now, therefore, I, John Kimball, Mayor of the City of Alexandria, do hereby on behalf of the city and the Alexandria City Council and the citizens of Alexandria, hereby proclaim Tuesday, June 30, 2026 as Arlene and Paul Carell. That was all those work that were getting my own life. Thank you.
Right.
We're going to start a petition, Arlene Carell for governor. 4 more years. 4 more years. Yeah, we're talking about 4 years from now. But I will say this, and Jock's right. You get into the moment, you get hot, you get sweaty. And y'all have heard me say this. The first time I said it, I would not be anywhere near what I've been able to do without Arlene. Arlene is like having a full-time additional chancellor because she's on campus all the time. She's always supporting our students. They all know her. In fact, more students know Arlene than know me, I promise. And she's been a wonderful partner. We've been married 51 years, and thank her for everything she's done. Okay, we're going to ask Bill Fondo, who's really one of our board members for our foundation, LSUA Foundation, to now come up and talk about donors. and the importance that they played, including Bill Fondo and Clico, who contributed $1.4 million to this project and also was stimulated by our great mayor, Jacques Roy. And I give him, both of them, a lot of credit. They're leading that.
I think before we get started, we ought to set the record straight. I also was accosted by the Correll right there. And we all know that our mayor prides himself on being a tough negotiator. Let me just lay out the real facts. Jacques paid $3 million and he got a so-called upgraded hamburger to a cheeseburger. I, on the other hand, for $1.4 million, got taken to Diamond Grill. Good afternoon, everyone. And it's an honor to be here today, really, as the LSUA breaks ground on its new health education campus, a project that really will enable the future healthcare of Central Louisiana. Clico is proud to support this effort with our $1.4 million contribution. For us, the investment really reflects our commitment to LSUA, to education, and to the communities that we serve. As a company with deep roots in Louisiana, Clico's role goes far beyond just delivering electricity to its customers. We have a social responsibility, and that's to help strengthen the quality of life and support the workplace needs of our region. This investment does just that. The campus will address one of Central Louisiana's most important needs, a strong, skilled healthcare workforce, and create new opportunities for students pursuing healthcare careers. With more than 700 employees in the immediate region, Clico knows how important strong healthcare and strong communities are to the families who live and who work here. So on behalf of Clico, your whole team, the foundation, every one of you have been part of this project, congratulations to LSUA. We're proud to help enable this vision that you put forward, and we look forward to this campus to serve students, families, and Central Louisiana for years to come. Thank you.
The groundbreaking, we have a very important person to speak, but I do want to mention a couple of people that I forgot to mention. Central Management was a major contributor to Louisiana Charities Trust. And I really want to thank again Kelly Pepper and her staff and the entire foundation who led the capital campaign. It was right after a previous capital campaign from the Martin Family Student Success Center. And for that one, they raised $5 million. So we had a $13 million donation from Central Louisiana for those two major projects. We're not a big metropolitan area. I want to really thank the leadership of our business community, our mayor, for that $13 million, because that created the impetus for the legislature to come forward and get us the funding we need. All right, starting pretty soon, in fact, we have a big reception for her today at 5 o'clock on campus at the Martin Family Student Success Center. For our next chancellor of LSUA, Liz Beard. Liz is a fantastic person. She's been preparing for this for over 20 years. Her and I have worked together. She's part of the senior leadership. She's been our provost and our chief academic officer. And she has a heart of gold that really resonates because she grew up in Central Louisiana. And what better training than selling Christmas trees do you have for preparing to be chancellor? I'm telling you. I worked in a feed store my whole life, and that's where I prepared, and it helped me a lot. She was growing trees and selling them, but she is a fantastic person. She's ready to do this job, and y'all need to support her because she's really excited about doing it. And tomorrow she's moving in. Well, she's got a meeting in the morning. I'm emptying my stuff out of the office this afternoon, and she's moving in, and I'm excited about that, and I'm really pleased with Dr. Roos and the search committee, and some of you on the search committee selected her for this job. So thank you, Liz Beard, the next chancellor.
Well, now I'm not gonna be able to talk, and that was really be a first and a milestone moment. I know I stand between you and air conditioning, so I'll be brief. But in a nutshell, this is why we win. This is why we win. You look around this crowd and having this vantage point to see the people from our community, our healthcare leadership, the people from our LSUA campus, our LSU family, the board of supervisors, our legislative delegation. We're all here. We know how hot it's going to be the last day of June in Louisiana at 2 p.m. And here we are because this is so meaningful to our community and the future of Central Louisiana. So thank you for that. We've always known that this milestone is about much more than building something, building a structure. It's about building a stronger community. And again, Central Louisiana continues to rally behind LSUA because this community believes in the work that we're doing together, and I could not be more proud of that. I always say that the responsibility of a university is far beyond awarding degrees. As your university, LSUA is responsible for helping to build the community that we all want to live in, that I want to grow old in, right? Thriving universities help to create thriving communities. We attract talent, we strengthen the workforce, we improve the quality of life, and we inspire the next generation to come home and build their futures right here. There is perhaps no greater example of that responsibility than in healthcare, and we're so proud to show that in full force today. This state-of-the-art health education campus that we break ground on represents an investment in healthier families and expanded access to quality healthcare throughout our region. It will help us attract, educate, and retain exceptional healthcare professionals who serve the people of Louisiana for generations to come. I want to recognize the faculty and academic leaders whose work make these programs extraordinary every single day. Dr. Ryan Richey, Dr. Sarita James, Dr. Sarah Barnes, and the outstanding faculty across our healthcare disciplines. They wear gold for a reason, right? Our faculty and staff at LSUA are second to none. We work hard and we work with all heart to prepare graduates who are truly ready for the next step of career advanced education. No one does it better. No one. And I'm very, very grateful to our outstanding team. At LSUA, we are the generals, and generals lead the charge. We lead boldly, we lead with purpose, and we rise to the challenge. We lead because we know that the work is worth doing, especially, as Dr. Brown said, when it's not easy. Again and again, this university has shown that when we come together, we win for our students, for Central Louisiana, and for the entire LSU family. I could not be more proud to be a general today and tomorrow as I begin serving as chancellor. I'm honored to continue leading the charge. Right? It might be the Beers Brigade. We'll figure that one out. You're here today because I know you believe this. We break ground on new opportunities, new careers, better healthcare, a stronger workforce, and a much, much healthier Central Louisiana. Here we are together leading the charge. Let's go, one LSU. Let's go, Central Louisiana. Let's go, Generals.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and break ground now and celebrate the construction of this. I want to say that the contractor is Descan from Bucky. They did a fantastic job on our Martin Family Student Success Center. Let's give them a big hand as well.
Kidding. up here for this one. Yeah. Oh, fine. Yeah. I know.
I got you one, Jeff. I said at the camping in. Foundation, next. Balls right here. Hey, guys, squeeze close, guys. Squeeze close. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, spot here.
LSUA Foundation.
No.